Welcome everyone to the second episode of the Prisma Podcast. My name is Elena and this is my co-host Fotini.
Hello.
And we are very happy to be here, and there's one thing I just want to mention really quickly, and that is for everyone watching, Fotini and I aren't wearing masks, and that is because we are part of the same social bubble, so we wanted to let you guys know that. And
we are careful.
Yes.
I want to be healthy.
My name is Elena, and I am an intuitive healer that helps people going through their spiritual journeys and going through the Ascension process by talking to them using my intuitive gifts. And this is my wonderful teacher and co-host, Fotini.
Hello. Yes, my name is Fotini, and I am a spiritual advisor, spiritual guide. I'm a Reiki healer. I'm also a medium, which I am communicating with my client soul and others because I do also long distance healing. And that's the reason why I name my business name is now Soul Transformation with Fotini.
Yes. So we are again excited to be here today. As spiritual healers and as people talking with a lot of different people, or for Fotini clients, we get a lot of questions, and something that Fotini has been asked a lot in, I want to say probably over your career, but more recently in the past week, has been this really incredible question that I think has been asked for ages. I think so many years. And the question is, what is a soul to you? What is the definition of a soul, or what is it? And Fotini has been talking to me about this, and we really wanted to share with you guys the visions and the messages she's been receiving on this. So what is a soul to you? Because there's so much to say about this topic.
Yes, Elena, when you saw the message that one follower or a guest,
someone on Instagram commented, yes.
And he said, what is the soul to you? And you said to me, what do we say? Mm-hmm. What did I say? Oh boy, this is a big one. This has to be message. It has to be a video. It has to be recorded. We cannot do it just like that, few sentences and that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's so important part of us, of who we are, and it's explaining also where did we come from and how are we here now and why. So, but we're going to go to the how.
Yes.
We're not going to go to the why.
So, how our souls came here. Yes. Is what we're going to start with. Yeah, because this is, like Fotini mentioned, this is, there's a lot of layers into this understanding of your soul. It's such a big question that we're going to break it down into a few parts for all of us to really understand. And I know in the beginning of my spiritual journey, there's so many definitions online. So when I started to hear Fotini's definition and understanding of the soul, it really clicked with me. And it's good to learn it in stages, the foundation. So this is the foundation of what a soul is and how it comes to be here on Earth. So can you tell us a little bit more about this message?
Yes, I got lots of messages because people been asking me. So many years ago, I had a couple ladies, they said to me, so what is it? Is it the soul or is it the spirit? What is it that I have? And I said, well, they're both the same. How you want to call this is still you.
Yeah.
It's part of you. It's who you are. It's what makes you to be alive. And I left it like this. But whenever a client or person asks me a question, because I have the ability to hear, I will hear some kind of message. And the messages kept on coming in, more and more. someone, like my sister says, there is 7 layers of heaven. So I was young, I hear the 7 layers of heaven, and he says, well, it's in the Bible, which I know there is stuff like that in the Bible. And I questioned it, and I said, where am I? If there is 7 layers of heaven, so which layer am I in? And I used to get the message, fourth. It meant nothing to me. I didn't understand. Oh, 4, okay. So I didn't know it's because I'm a holy person or I'm very nice person, or I am a smart person, or that's where all the human beings are, in the 4th layer of heaven. I had no idea. But then they're just they want to educate me, and they keep on giving me information.
Your guides, or
my guides keep on giving me information, and so find out, showing me the space, showing me so many details, all different times, but also I felt that it was something there, something real. I just didn't know what yet.
Yeah.
So finally all came together, and when I understood and I said, now I know, that's when the questions started coming in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're telling me that I'm ready to explain this? Okay, I will do this.
Yes.
Even though I'm a little nervous with a camera.
Yes. But it's an important message. And like I mentioned, what is a soul? I feel like this question is, on par with all the deeper questions people ask, like, why are we here? What is our purpose? It's something that so many people are craving to understand and to know. And now is the time. I think now is the time for everyone to really, truly understand and start to maybe you don't take this definition we're going to give you as, pure concrete definition, but just to start to think about it, just to start to consider what your soul is, how much bigger than you things are, and how beautiful this existence is. So
that's true. I'm not going to say this is 150% accurate, but I know, and what I hear from my clients, my messages, and what I know with my experiences, they are, I'm going to say 97, 98, maybe 99% accurate, because I do see confirmations after that they're coming. Yes. And I like to start with one vision that I got 12 years ago. I was starting to question it. I felt comfortable enough to say, okay, God, talk to me. What's going on here? I understand who you are now and where you come from, and basically who you are. Where he's coming from everywhere. But I said, how about me? Where do I come from? So I was all by myself, waiting for the next appointment, my next client, and all of a sudden, I saw the sky. It was full with, they look like 1 meter sticks, like the cue sticks that they were playing the pool. The pool. And there were different shades, though, of colors. The colors, it's like if they were made out of the cloud, if I'm going to say. And some of them were like a dark gray color, medium gray, lighter gray. I didn't see any white. They were all gray, different tones of shades of gray. I saw. And they were all coming like if people threw arrows at me, Whoa. There were like so many that I could say, this is clouds, but they were not clouds. They were all long sticks like this. And as they were coming closer and closer to me, because I lost the ceiling in my office, and it was like I was seeing the sky, I hear babies crying. And immediately I felt like a voiceless voice says, that's the soul.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So kind of shooting down.
It's coming down. Yes.
Okay.
So it took me a couple of years to digest this first, and I was satisfied with this. But then I asked more questions. And as the clients are asking more questions, and now I'm going to start with the layers. Like really, we have 7 layers, we said, with heaven, which is dimensions, basically. But my sister and they were coming to me because we didn't know. It was coming as layers of heaven. But we have the number 13. The 13, it starts when the beginning of you comes together, which means the etheric body with the spirit. It starts as a spirit.
On the 13th layer.
On the 13th layer. What the spirit is such a pure energy, like God. God is Theos. Theos means Theo. Theo means pure. The purest of the pure.
Yeah.
And we are part of this energy. It's like it detaches a little piece, like those Q
the sticks. Yeah.
The Q sticks that I saw, I call them is the part of God that's sent to us. Kind of like when, and I'm going to say it, it looked like a sperm, you know, it's like how we come on earth. I mean, this is it, you know, we need this. So I think this is how I felt it. It came like this. It was multiple of those, many of those coming down to earth here. So we are part of God. So the spirit is the pure energy that just left God. This magical energy, this amazing energy that is in the universe, right? And is our universe is here too. So here is the 13 layer. It starts to come down layer, dimension. It goes to the 12, and then it goes to the 11, and then it goes to the 10, and 9, and 8. So as it's going through the dimensions, those layers are where the information start to come to the body. Because like I said, the body starts together, but the body is together with your spirit. And as they start to give in those layers, we start getting dressed up with information, but we call it as the codes, let's say, that they're coming to us. And as we are coming down and lower, more and more codes we have. And the codes, like if we use like 3 codes, one on top of the other, it becomes heavy.
Yes.
And the body is feeling the heaviness. Well, the first part of us that feel the heaviness, by the time it reaches to the 7, it cannot anymore handle this weight, this heaviness. So what it does, it just stops. It detaches from the part that got created, which that's the soul now. The soul has the information, and the soul now, and together with the body, it comes lower. It goes to the 6, to the 5, to the 3. The 3 dimension is the one that we are talking about. We are human. So
what we're in right now.
We
currently.
are here, which means I'm looking out. By the 3rd dimension, what happens now, even the soul cannot keep up. It's too heavy. It is too heavy for him too. So it starts to change. As we're coming down, we're going to the 4th dimension, and 3rd dimension is where I said we are the human part of us, most human, the way we behave, normal human beings, as we call. But at this point now, the soul is 45%, and the body, the information that we have with us and we brought with us is 55%. So now the human part of us, the 55, is stronger and dominates the soul. So to the point that now even the soul starts to come down, to quiet itself. And so what happens now, the logic part of the brain takes over, because at this point the child is 7-8 years old, my guides are telling me.
Oh, interesting.
Because he already received this information, and he has the information now into the logic part, which is the conditional self.
So maybe we can get back to this question. I'm going to ask it now. Maybe we can come back to it. So it's interesting you're saying that, because I remember we went to a conference with Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden, and they talk about how from like 0 to 7, the baby, you know, 0 to 7, they're, I don't want to say empty, but they're open, they're new. So it's interesting that you're saying at 7 years old is when you switch to the logic.
Yes.
And because I'm thinking about that time, that it's, I guess maybe this is just what I'm thinking. The spirit is and the earthiness are trying to balance out during 0 to 7, and then once they hit 7, there's a shift. It's
so much information, and by then that it quiets down.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Now, the logic actually is coming to the human being. They talk about scientists 16 years old. The knowledge, though, that the child thinks, okay, I got it. I have enough information here. I learned it from my mom, from my dad, from my school, siblings, friends. And now I got it, and it becomes like who that person is, but actually is not. It's only 5-10% is himself, 5%, not even 10%. I can't even say 10%. And the rest is the conditional self, is like the information that accumulate inside and becomes who it is. Right?
Okay. So I think first let's recap, because that's a lot to even imagine in your mind. You know, first so what I feel like you're saying is that we start from the creator, from this, what I like to call source consciousness, because it is the source. It's the source. We come down from
the universe.
The universe, the all.
The space.
There's so many words to call it, because it's truly, honestly, nameless. But we can get into that in another episode, because that's a whole nother thing. But
it's too much.
So we come down, and we kind of shoot off, right? I guess maybe the intention of the creator is to put more spirits, or we'll talk about this next episode too, the purpose of why we're coming down here, or to wherever we're going.
Yes, why we are on Earth is going to be the next episode.
Yes. So I won't get too deep into that, but so we come down, and we start to go through the dimensions, or layers of energy, I guess we can call dimensions.
The dimensions is with informational energy.
Yes.
It has lots of information.
Okay.
There.
So we start to come down through these layers and receiving this informational energy. And once we get to, as a soul, we're a spirit.
We're coming down as a spirit first.
Spirit, yes.
Until the 7th layer. That's when you get into information, the codes, like I called it.
Yes.
So it's for informational vibrations, basically. This is not energy, because the energy is the spirit.
Yes.
It's us as we're coming down as a spirit. And then it separates. At the 7th is when the spirit cannot handle it anymore and says, it's too heavy for me. I can't do this. But then the other part takes over, which is called the soul. Now the soul has the information and continues, and it comes down with to the other layers with the body.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because there is that little difference of the spirit and the soul. And when you say this, it reminds me of how, especially in the spiritual community, it's mentioned, when you meditate, you can connect with your higher self. Okay, this higher self, this concept of the higher self really seems to be like it's the spirit part that is in those upper layers.
That's right.
Right?
So what's going on in this time or moments of our lives is that the human comes into a desperate moment. And it remembers that something I have to do, I have to pray, or I have to ask, or I have to think higher, I need miracle. And so what it does, from the logic, from the base, the human part, it goes to the higher part, because we are like a pyramid, kind of like that. And so here's the superconscious. I call it the higher self, or your guardian angel, it's right here. And here is the human part of you, which is the lower part, conscious, subconscious, superconscious. So it's a triangle, it's the pyramid. The high point is the superconscious, yes, which is the super soul, which is your guardian angel too, which is always with you, because you are connected. You never disconnected. When the spirit stay there and it continues, the connection is the soul that keeps you connected with the spirit up there. And you need this connection, you need this energy to come down to your body, because your body heals. Now, how many we all know, if we take a bone and we break it and we put it in the refrigerator, we put it in the cabinet or on the countertop, we roll it with something, this bone is not going to bond again, become one again together. But inside the body, it does. We can cut the meat and nothing is going to happen, because it does not have a spirit. It doesn't have that energy, which is stayed up there, but it's still connected with you all the way down at 2% only, because it's not doing anything else than giving you life. The soul is the one that accumulates the what you are achieving here on earth, and the part that the soul is accumulate to take back up there to God, if we're going to say, from where we began, where we came from. This is the memories, those memories, this information, it goes to the soul. It does not stay in the body. The body is just a gift to the soul that it will be here on earth and experience life. And there is more gifts coming, like you can have a car, because the body needs it. Right? And it needs a house and a bed and chairs and tables. The soul don't care about all this. The soul wants a movement. Let's keep on moving on earth. Let's experience in life. We need to experience life, because by experiencing life now, what's happening here is that this vibration of the soul is changing.
Yes.
And it can go down or it can go up.
Yes.
So sometimes the soul is desperate and is calling for help up there. And then they come in to push you a little bit and say, go to a therapist, go to a spiritual person, or go to the church and pray.
You're saying times meditate. When you may be pushed and your higher self kind of steps in a way.
Yes, when you go lower, because
when you go lower.
Yes, your soul does not want you to go to the second dimension and the first dimension, because this is too heavy. The light energy is the good energy, which is bright and lighter. Lighter. The heavy energy is going down to the ground. It's kind of like the hot air balloons. We have the sand, and then we need to remove the sand so it goes higher. We have this weight, it takes us down. By taking us down, then is not good even to the human body, to the human part of us. It doesn't like it. It cannot handle it anymore. And so then the person goes into other problems like severe depressions, or they want to die, or they're saying, no, I don't want to live
really
anymore.
Negative feelings.
Because they're saying, what stands for me to be alive is because it's so heavy. So what I'm advising my clients is like follow the Instagrams, the Miriam, what else? Books. I mean, people are talking. Always lift each other, because we, as human beings here, we also have parts. The part of us that they are going to experience this life and to learn and change our vibrations, the soul's vibrations, to make them lighter, to bring them back up to our spirit, because the spirit, it wants the light, because it cannot handle the heavy part of us. So it's going to do this, like it's going to bring you experiences here with people around you to help you to heal this part. But then you have another part, And this part is to help each other. And this is what we are doing.
Yes.
We are helping each other. We are supporting each other. But never, never forget, you are here for yourself first. If you are disconnected from yourself, if you don't think and acknowledge your soul, this part that makes you move, this part that heals you, if you get scratched or hurt or bruised or broken bones or something, then you are not moving, you are not making your spirit happy. And it's up there ready at your service. You can ask for help, and the help comes immediately. Some clients, they're asking me, but is there any others, like a Saint Michael, Saint Gabriel, and Blessed Mary, and the Buddhist, and whatever others, other spiritual images, or how we call them?
Other guides,
we call them guides to help us. And yes, they are, because they are more beings. They are floating around in the 5th dimension. So we want to start going to the 4th dimension. 4th dimension means sometimes we can be good, balanced, peaceful, feeling healthy, feeling happy. And then in the 3rd dimension can be happiness too, but it's conditional happiness. It's like, oh, I bought this car and I'm okay. But then 2-3 months later, what happens? You don't care. You know why? Because the soul don't care. What the soul cares is about the feelings. Feel good, feel at peace, feel content with your life, with just being here on earth. Just because now the soul is happy and is giving you the happiness forever, like every day. I feel content, I feel at peace.
Feeling these, what I call higher vibrational feelings, which makes sense because we're trying to raise our vibration. Our soul wants us to have these lighter feelings. And that's why, working towards releasing these conditional happiness things that we're reaching for, and releasing a lot more things for sure, really do help raise your vibration. So I feel like a lot of this is we're a piece of the Creator coming down here. We are a piece of the Creator coming down here. That's what a soul is. I mean, we've explained layers and we've explained spirit, but the truth is we're a piece of the Creator coming down into what I call heavier density as well, to experience, not just life, but to move, to grow, to experience all of these wonderful and very, very interesting things that, for us talking right now on Earth, that Earth has to offer. I believe that there are lots of other places that souls can go, not just here to Earth, which we will talk about in a later episode. But I think I just wanted to, point out and remember that the soul is this divine energy coming down here, and that's what we are at our core.
We are amazing.
Yeah.
We are so unique, so amazing. And there is one more part now that I didn't say yet, but I'm going to talk about the light. When there's people have out-of-body experience, or some of them die in the operating room, and then they come back, and they all talk about the
near-death experience
because they saw the light, they say. Well, I do see it when I pass through, because I travel, I do travel, and I can see this.
Yeah, as a psychic medium, you're able to go between, right?
And I did mention this in one of my videos a couple months ago when we did the meditation. Do you remember the whole world, the whole global?
Yeah.
We meditated?
Yes, I think it was 11 meditation. One of these meditations where we all gathered and sat and did a visualization at the same time.
Yes, I am talking there as I went through this, like a fog, a white fog. And then as I passed after the fog, I saw, I'm saying in the video, a gold, actually gold, like if it was a metal gold triangle, but the whole space behind it, it was gold also. And I saw myself there, like if I went through that triangle, it was like if it was a hallway, but it was a triangle instead of
like a portal. I mean, maybe other people wouldn't think about a portal immediately, but a doorway.
It's a doorway, yeah. It was like a doorway. And then all of a sudden I was there.
Yeah.
And I felt so good. And I'm talking about it in that video because we talked about what I saw and what you saw and what
Victoria saw. Yes.
saw. Yes. So the reason, this is called, I should go back a little bit. I'm from the bottom now, looking up, and I'm looking at this white cloud. And then we see it's a light. It's light, and we say, "Oh, I see the light." Actually, your soul is going through. It has to go through this tunnel. We call it the lake. It's like a milky lake with rays. The rays is.
I've heard it called the veil.
The veil. The veil also
is another way to. That I've heard it called, but when you said the lake, it makes so much sense, right?
Because I can bring you the vision.
Yes,
this way.
The vision makes sense of seeing a milky lake.
Yeah, so as the soul it keeps on coming down from the seventh, and then to the sixth. That's where it is. It's like in the seventh layer, and it comes down. So now imagine you are looking from the bottom up, and if the 8 and the 9, this is light, is where still the spirit is able to stay. Now looking at this, because it has rays, because there are tunnels, like where do you want to go, which dimension you want to go, or which area. So it looks like the light, the rays of the sun. But actually is that part that once you go through this, now you are back into the 8, to the 9, to the 10, to the 11, 12, 13, and you are into the peacefulness, into the light that you can choose to become a guardian angel for someone else and go into the 5th dimension and 6th dimension to help. Or sometimes, many times, we just come into, we dip into, as a spirit I'm calling now, as a guardian angels I'm calling, if we become and when we become one, and they're coming here to help us. And that's the reason why many of you, I have many people say, I opened my eyes and I saw this being standing like a Blessed Mary next to my bed, and it was all light, it was glowing. I said, how did you feel? Did you feel scared? No, I felt supported. I felt that I was protected. My clients are telling me, and they're all different nationalities. It's not like my nationality only. They're all different people, different nationalities. Some of them they believe, some of them don't, but they want to tell me their experience because it was something unusual, something amazing. So do they come to help? Yes. And I will ask the person, what did you went through back then? Like when you saw that being, how was your life?
Yeah.
And they would say, well, something I lost my grandmother, or I saw
something intense. That moment that you were saying, right? That moment where it was like, okay, this soul needs a push. Like we're gonna step in.
Yes,
maybe
to step in to help. Yes, to come down, because we do have help. They want us. The spirit up there, our spirit up there, does not want to lose the contact, and it does want to get the results that is it did decide to get while we came on Earth. So I'm getting a vision right now, and as an example, and I don't know if you can help me with this, is the sponge divers. They go into the water, but they can't go with the tanks. They have to wear this uniform, this outfit that they put oxygen in it, and it has a tube and a round globe here, and it has to go. It gives the opportunity, the ability. This uniform, I guess, it gives the ability to go all the way down to the deeper part of the water, to get the sponges and come up, right? But how this person is able to be down there, the diver, is because someone is up there
connected, right?
Connected and running the hose. And the machine, though, the machine that gives the oxygen through the tube down there. So the connection is the spirit. The machine that gives the oxygen, because he can handle it, is the soul. And the diver now, which goes to the deeper area, but he needs the support to be able to survive. Otherwise, he's going to die. He's going to drown down there. Right? Is the body, is our body. So it's something like this. They just show me to say this.
Interesting.
I hope you get it. I hope.
I think that definitely is a really good visual to think about this cord connection, and because it reminds you of it gives you the visual of someone up above. Not saying anything is better or worse. It's just above in these other dimensions, and then you're in a lower area, but there's still this connection there that's giving you life.
Yes, and it's keeping an eye on you, and it's helping you make sure you're safe, make sure you're okay, because that's the job of the person up there, and to keep the diver safe.
Yes.
So he can get what he needs to get. And the soul is here. I mean, the soul, which is our physical together, of course, it's here to get something, but the soul is the one that is going to grab it and bring it up.
Yeah.
And it is going to bring it up to the spirit.
Yeah, because the diver at the end of that takes off the suit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
exactly. So at the end of all of this, we take off the suit or the vehicle, right? And we go back up. So, and we return back to where we came from. And with more knowledge and more experiences, and then maybe we do it again. I know that's a whole nother conversation too, of like, okay, but why does this happen? That'll be in the next episode, of why we really choose to come here, or maybe why some spirits choose to stay and be guardian angels, and why some spirits, choice. That's going to be an exciting episode as well. I'm really excited.
So the soul is the mother for the body.
Yes. Okay.
So
I always picture it as like the soul giving, like the body is, it's your avatar. In Avatar, the movie Avatar, literally when they just have these bodies, but there's no life in them until your soul really comes in.
It comes in.
And that's what gives it, like you said, the healing powers, and that's what gives it this life and this movement.
Yes.
I always think about that, how when babies are born and they they take that first breath. Like that first breath is I always imagine your soul's kind of coming in at that time. It's like, okay, like the before, you were just the body. Your mom was creating the body and everything like that. Yes. But once your, movement happens, like you're literally being moved into the physical world, your soul is coming in, and that's when you're able to cry and scream and be, have life.
It's called the Big Bang.
Yeah.
So that's when the Big Bang comes, and the soul is activated now, and here you are. You are your own self. You don't need the umbilical cord anymore to be alive, to survive.
Yeah.
So
we have a spiritual umbilical cord.
Yes.
to our spirit.
Yes. So I like to answer the question.
Yes. What is a soul? What is a soul to you, Fotini?
The soul to me is what we just said, all those things that we put together, is to understand that I have powers, because my soul is between my spirit, my higher self, my creator, my survivor. It's saving me, it's giving me anything I want, because it's my higher self, all the powers that God has I have too, because I come from God.
Yes.
And is connected with my body.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's one part of me that I respect very much. And I am asking, and I'm going to ask you to do the same thing and say, right now, my soul, my energy is into the space.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am in the space. I am in the universe, because we are all one. But how can I be alive? Because the universe, the space, God is inside me. So I'm inside God, because when I breathe, my breath goes outside from me. And if God, which God is everywhere, or the energy, this magical energy, however we call it, I'm in there because I breathe out and it's there. And then I breathe in and it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always that exchange. So never feel that you cannot do magic for your life, for your body.
Yes.
For your health.
Yes. I think remembering that we're this the words in my head just said cosmic spiritual being, is a powerful thing to remember. You know, when we start feeling the heaviness of this third dimension, just remembering to tune in and say, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience right now.
That's right.
And I am one with the universe. Yes.
You go up into the fourth dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to go to the fifth dimension. You're still alive, don't worry. You can go all the way up to 7, still being alive.
Yes.
And experience life, but you experience life in a happy way,
mm-hmm.
in a successful way, safe way. And because one of our parts is to help others and
mm-hmm.
heal others, then by doing this, we are healing we can heal the whole United States.
The whole world.
Each person, and then after that, United States is healing the world, because I heard one spiritual person says, every day we come in contact with 600 people.
Interesting.
And I thought about it, and I'm like, if I was working in a restaurant, maybe,
mm-hmm.
but not when I'm in the house. But then I knew exactly what this person meant,
mm-hmm.
and I agree with him. Our energy, our vibration, it goes out.
Yeah.
And it's touching the people around us. Like I'm touching my neighbors.
Yeah.
And they love me. They're nice.
Right.
So,
and I think about it as the quantum field, you know?
That's exactly
all
what it
all
is.
of our energies, our thoughts, and again, we can get into the quantum field in another episode as well, because that is a very, very important part of this experience here on Earth, and our experience as souls too. But I think of it as the quantum field. You know, we are all connected, and I mean, speaking to your vision in the beginning, kind of these like pool sticks like shooting down, or honestly, like all of these rays of light, they still all go all the way back up to the same place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
we are all connected.
So we're all connected in that way too, and that's those are the visuals that I've always received. I've never had visuals or visions of all of these layers. I sensed different dimensions, but I loved hearing Fotini's description, because it really makes so much sense, especially the Milky Lake and seeing the light, because that's been literally documented so many times of seeing the light. So
which
that
is the white,
really,
the area to come down. But looking up, because it's such a beautiful bright above, it looks like it's the light.
Yes.
It shines and it makes it to look like it's the light, which it is a light on the other side, but it's like also the feeling when I go there, it's so beautiful. They tell me that I crossed the veil, and the first time they mentioned this to me, it was this lady, actually is the first female that Dalai Lama gave certificate.
Oh, wow.
And I saw her in Georgia, and she came to me to say, wow, layers and layers of beautiful colors, your aura. Wow. She was going like this. And I was looking at her, I'm like, is she see my colors or what? And then she says to me, do you know you crossed the veil? I didn't know what that meant. I mean, I know I moved, but I didn't know the expression meant cross the veil. So I came and I called my friend Georgianne, and I said, Georgianne, do you know this expression? She goes, yes, my friend, because she reads a lot in the internet. So she explained it to me. It was nice that you mentioned this, because there is a movement. We can do a movement and come back. So now we're gonna finish this one though, right? And then the next one is going to be why me being here on earth. What is earth for me, for my soul?
Yes.
That's going to be the part 3.
Yes, which is also another big question. So many big questions. We're tackling them right in the beginning of the podcast, which is pretty daring, but we think, like I mentioned in the beginning, this is so important for you to start building on, so you can raise your vibration and be happy, starting to understand these things. So,
and how is it going to be happy? How are you going to be happy? Because your soul, that's what it wants. That it doesn't care about the money, houses, buildings, cars and stuff. This is for the body. It's the gift. The soul wants the feeling. So wake up in the morning, think about your feelings. Put yourself into a happy feeling. Ask yourself, how can I make my day to be peaceful and happy? That's how you are going to succeed your purpose here on earth. And of course, I promise you, it's so much better, because I've been in a third dimension and I am now in the higher. And I'm not bragging. I am telling you, many people know me, and they see the changes. People that know me from the 90s and now they see the changes, and it is because I have felt the different vibration. I will never go back to the other one, I promise you. And you wouldn't do that. And I like to share one story real quick before we finish this. One of my clients, she was dealing a lot of human behavior here. I call it third dimension. And so finally, a year later, she came and she learned how to be more lighter and to see things with different eyes, you know. And so she walked in. She didn't even sit down. She stood in front of me and she says to me, I was already sitting down. And she says, Fotini, tell me who I'm not supposed to see, who I'm not supposed to talk, and what I'm not supposed to do, because I am not about to lose this feeling that I have. I've been having it for a whole week, and it's like amazing. I don't want to lose it. And I was like, I was lost. I said, oh, you feel it? And she goes, yes, tell me. No, tell me. And she was really like this. She says, tell me. And I said, honey, I am not going to tell you who not to talk to, because you already feeling good and you are in your life. Yeah. So you manifested. You succeed.
You're doing it. You are doing it. You succeed.
So let's continue now. Let me help you to understand a little bit more some other areas of your life. Yes. And so this is a beautiful story.
Yeah,
she was ready to change and walk away.
And that's perfect. And I think the last point I want to touch on is just that, like, and a big part of Prisma is for us, not to say we're these teachers and you should be coming to us and just listening to this. It's to listen, learn, grow, and then experience it out in your life, and use these visions and messages we're giving you to integrate and change and grow, and then you might experience something we've never experienced before. So this is all for learning and really growing. So I love that example too, because
it's true example.
It's really true.
Yes.
But thank you so much for joining us today. If you're listening or watching us on the YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. We do have an Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram at the Prisma Podcast, or on YouTube you can subscribe and watch us. And we're also available on Spotify and a few other podcasting platforms if you're more interested in listening. So thank you so much for joining us. We loved this conversation. I know I did.
Thank you, Elena.
Yes. And thank you for sharing these messages.
You're welcome. There is so many messages that I've been receiving.
Yes.
That's
why we're here.
I need to share, because I keep on getting the messages. You got to share them. You got to bring them out. You got to talk to the people. You got to talk to the world.
Yes.
So
I
enjoy doing it, even though I'm getting nervous with the camera.
So progress. See, learning, growing.
Exactly.
Everyone has to do it.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. God bless.